So yeah, take away from the Grammys, is Turnstile metal?
Turntables
No, I
is,
mean the answer is
yeah,
no.
no. Last night was the Grammys,
Yeah,
and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about any sort of music news that's coming up or whatever.
yeah,
I didn't watch the Grammys myself, but I get, freaking social media is just
sure. Oh,
flushing everything right at me right now. But
it
obviously, from
lit
what
up.
I saw, the biggest takeaway is, outside of all the political BS or whatever, but
Mhm.
the biggest thing is that pertains to us is, I think Spiritbox was one of the featured bands.
Mhm.
And then again, I saw the performance and everything, and I just, I know that we have a little bit different views on Spirit Box, where like I think they're great,
I don't mind them.
and I was gonna say I don't think you ever like disparaged them by any means, but you just said like some of their stuff sounds the same and stuff like that, and I get that, but
They have a
I just,
lane. Yeah.
yeah, I just think Courtney is she's
She's
killer,
she's
man.
good. She's
She's so
good. I
good.
mean, I'll always give credit when it's due. I mean, they're a good band
Yeah,
for sure. And I think it's, kind of the female aggressive vocal that gets a lot of attention
sure.
because,
Yep.
it's rare that you see, a woman who can do that well,
Right.
you know. And it's impressive what you can do. I can't do it. But musically, I think they've got a formula. They've got a lane and they're sticking to it. Can't blame them for it.
No,
It's working.
I agree, and
Um,
and that's the thing is like I think I've known not known her personally. I wish I did, but I've known of Courtney for a very long time when she was the
mhm,
second singer to I Wrestled a Bear once, obviously, and
mhm.
I feel that people back then really didn't give her a chance because I thought she was an outstanding vocalist. She did their original music, a lot of justice, and then she was great at what she came up with that band, and still had that same flavor to their music and stuff. And as you know, I mean, a vocalist can completely change everything,
Oh yeah.
and she did a good job with I Wrestled a Bear once and stuff. And so, but the thing
Mhm.
is, I love about her is that, I mean, she was in that band a long time ago, and so usually by now, I mean, gosh, it's what 15 years in, you would think that she's really already found her lane, da 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 da, and like people just have to, accompany her, kind of a thing. But I think that it just goes to show, like, since she did such justice to I Roast Little Bear once, and then now she's in Spirit Box, and it's different. And I think she's really being herself, and that was my point, is that I really think she found exactly who she is, and she's just like, I'm gonna give A+ to everything that I do now, and show my vocal range. And obviously her aggressive vocals were so good.
Mm.
But again, I just think that she's so much bigger than that. And then also too, just the other piece of it is just like she's completely found like her femininity of the whole thing. And she's just really, like same thing with like in this moment, with Maria Brink when they first came out, is like she's trying to figure out, her vocals have always been strong. Maria's have always been
Mm.
strong,
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
trying to figure out, what's my look, like what's my persona, what am I supposed to do here. And she tried with like the baby doll dresses and stuff like that, and like,
Yeah.
but then she like really turned into like this kind of like voluptuous, being on stage, and it really set them off. And I kind of feel that's the same thing that's happening with a lot of the female led vocal bands right now, but especially Spirit Box. I think, Courtney's just really leaning into the just showing her female side of everything, and not trying to fit in a man's world, and just like, hey, I'm going to express myself as a woman, and whether it's a sexual appeal or whatever, she's leaning into it, and she's doing a fantastic job with it.
I agree. I agree with all that. Kind of going back to Maria for a second. I will say, and this will be an unpopular opinion, I think her stage performance has suffered with
Oh,
the new
Maria.
aesthetic. Mhm.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. She's
She
turned more
doesn't
into like a
move.
pop singer.
She
you
doesn't
know
move. She
yeah, she
stays
doesn't move,
stationary.
exactly. She's got, you
That bugs
know
me
yeah,
as a
that's the thing,
performer.
is like she turned into kind of like almost like an evil Britney
Robot?
Spears kind of a thing. Yeah, robot.
No, I
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get that part of
Because
it. Yeah.
yeah, because she has
Yeah.
like backup singers and stuff who like do choreography with her and everything. That's a little
Mhm.
weird, you know. Um,
I get where they're trying to go or where they're going with it, and
right.
good for them, right on. But for me, just to have her stand there, kind of leaning on whatever posts or canes she has or whatever, it's like, dude, that
Yeah.
is doing exactly zero for me. And
Right.
then like her little tent, her costume change tent is on stage.
Yeah.
It's like, at least the last time I saw him, that's how it was. I'm like, oh, that bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's like she's
why. It
it,
just
it
does.
just it leans too heavily into the pop world for me. It's very like share, you know, kind of a
Diva.
thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
diva stuff.
Hmm.
And I agree with you there. I don't care for that. I'm just talking overall as far as like the aesthetic
Sure. Yeah.
and it's cool, you know.
I guess that's my long way of saying I liked it better before.
I agree. No, I agree.
I
And
liked
that's
the metal core vocals. Honestly, like what's that record called? Beautiful Dream or The Dream. Do you know what record I'm talking about?
something. Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
the last record before the majority of the band left to go join one of the American Idols.
Yeah.
I think it's Beautiful Dream, something like that.
It's The
Um,
Dream, I think is
The
what it was called.
Dream.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like that record, had they stayed on that trajectory,
Yep. Yep.
perfect
Yeah, right
for
on.
me,
Yep. Yep.
but they didn't. They took a hard right turn
Yeah.
into whatever it became.
Sure. No,
And I'm not dogging
exactly.
on them. I'm not dogging on them, at all, but for me, I like that was, they peaked there for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that was still,
I like I like their stuff. I like their later stuff too. And you
mhm,
know, I
they
think
were just underground enough at that point,
right. Right. Well,
you
and I think
know.
that's, you know, for me, like so like let's bring Ginger into the mix with this, you know, like Tatiana.
Mm,
I feel like that's
Eugene, he's my guy,
right.
bass player.
I feel like Ginger, like there's like this big riff that goes in between, you know, you have like these Spiritbox fans and Ginger fans, and you can't be both, you know. And I think it's funny because there's like always all of
What?
this. Oh,
That's a
to
thing?
dude, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. There's it's always like who's the top, you know, female vocalist right now, and it's always this fight between Courtney LaPlante and Tatiana, and it's just like I'm like, hey, I think they're both great in their own different ways, and I think,
Yeah.
you know, but I think the cool thing about Tatiana is that she's still, even though she's very feminine and she's, you know, she's beautiful and she leans into it on stage and everything, but she's also aggressive and she's not like, I am, how do I put it? It's not that, you know, larger than life kind of a thing. She's still like in your face metal,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's what's cool is where
Mhm.
that's
They're
where
both
Courtney
like that.
LaPlante is less aggressive in your face. She still has great aggressive vocals, but she's very like fluid on stage and dances and
Mhm.
stuff like that, you know,
Right.
which is what I'm getting at. I think that that's Courtney's lane, though. I think she found that
Mhm.
out about herself, and that's what she's doing, and it's working really, really well for her. Whereas Tatiana, I don't think she could do that. You know, I think that she's found her. I don't want to say shtick like in a bad way, but she's found her lane, and she does really, really well too. You know,
Mhm.
same thing with Maria. You know, but and all
Yeah.
these other ones. Oh my goodness, there's so many female vocalists right now. It's insane.
Right.
But
Yeah. I mean, in that aggressive vocal world, yeah, it's cool to see that,
yeah,
you know, because I like I've always been a fan of, a vocalist being able to use all of the tools at their disposal, right? So if they
yeah,
can do a clean vocal really well, they can do a aggressive vocal really well. Like that's like to me, that's a gold mine, you know.
correct,
Um, so listening to each of them do it, it's like, yeah, they can do both very, very well.
big
To
time.
me, Ginger wins because of Eugene, the bass player, because he is like
Yeah,
one of the best bass players I've ever had the pleasure of seeing play the instrument before.
sure,
Like he's that good. So for me, the songs take on a little bit more life than Spiritbox. And kind of
sure.
like what I was saying before, it's like Spiritbox has their lane and it's like a formula and they're right there pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Ginger doesn't have that. Ginger's all over the place.
Correct. Yep. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right. And that's the thing. It's like,
No diss on anybody.
no. It's again, it's just, you know, once somebody finds that thing that just starts churning out. I mean, it's the same thing with being a influencer or YouTuber or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure out what's working and what's not, and
Yeah.
because it's a balance of doing something that you love, that you find fun, that you're passionate about, and everything, and then something catches, and it's like, okay, do I just want to
Hmm.
keep spreading myself out all over the place, doing all this outlandish stuff, or do I want to do the thing that resonates with people and catches more and more people and stuff like that? And so that's how it is with music or anything creative,
Yeah. It's
but that's
true.
the thing. It's like you just find that lane that's like, oh man, this is where all of a sudden I went from 150 people at a show to 1,500 people at a show, and now I'm at 15,000
Mhm.
people at a show, and I went from selling 2,000 records to 2 million records, and it's just, you just
Yeah.
find it,
And, here's between those two bands. Jinjer is more of a musician's band
Yeah,
than Spiritbox.
I agree.
You know,
Yep.
you've got four
Yeah.
musicians in Jinjer who like they
Yep.
can play anything.
Totally.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? Spirit Box is a little bit different. It's like they do it in Jinjer. There's songs
Yeah.
where they have like reggae parts and all these like they can do that,
Yeah.
and Spirit Box, they might be able to, I don't know, but they don't. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But as a musician, to me, I'm gonna,
I get you. Well, that's the thing though, again, because you're exactly right. And no offense to any of the Spirit Box like members or anything like that. And again, I'm not a huge fan, like huge fan of them. I'm a fan, but not like I know everybody's names and stuff. But I think
Mhm.
that I resonate with the good majority of people that listen to Spirit Box, is that you're not necessarily going to a Spirit Box show to watch the guitarist play or even the band play. You're going there and they get it. Like they kind of black out the rest of the players on stage. I mean, the
Oh,
spotlight's
they
on
know where
Courtney.
they know
They
where
know
the
where the
draw's
money
at.
is.
They know where the
Exactly.
draw's at.
Exactly. And so, but Ginger, it's like going to any other show. I mean, they spotlight the whole band.
Hmm?
It's a band performance when you see them play and stuff. And
Oh,
I
I'd
would
be
say I'm
pissed
sure there's
if
still a lot of guys who are going to see Tatiana,
sure,
but
sure. Oh, I'd be
but
pissed if they turned the lights out on Eugene.
I hear you, dude. I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, I was kind of going
Yeah.
through really quick that the list of who won, like best rock album and best metal and all
Hmm.
that other stuff too. And
That was the other thing that the internet was going nuts on
yeah,
this morning was how metal is turnstile.
dude, I'm telling you, man, this is the thing. It's like I don't know why, but I get my hopes up every single year. Like I see, like some of the bands that were nominated and stuff, and I'm like, I know they're gonna pick something gay. Not saying that Turnstile's gay. They're good, just not, dude. They're just, to me, not metal. And I'm like,
It
it
it's
happens
not.
all the freaking time, dude. Like even
That
way back,
one.
like Metallica and when they lost, and it was like, ugh,
Well, that was the running joke. It's like, well, Flotsam and Jetsam didn't put out a record last year,
yeah,
you know. But I
that's
mean,
good.
absolutely, they deserved the best rock,
Yeah.
100%, hands down.
Yes, 100%.
You
But
know,
metal,
metal, that one is, and I've said it before on this show, like I'm a massive Turnstile fan,
yep.
and metal going up against. And to be fair, I don't think Sleep Token should have won either. Dream Theater
No,
should have
I
had that.
100% agree with you there. And
So, for all the
dude, I would
Sleep
have put
Token
money on it.
fans.
I would have put money on that. Sleep Token probably would have won, out of that group. I thought it was their year. I think we're probably
Right.
on like episode 25 or something. Like we were talking about that. And I said I thought for
Hmm.
sure Sleep Token was winning everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But the thing that folks have to realize is that the Grammys and the Academy, it's
yeah,
very political.
totally.
It's very political.
Yeah.
So it's not, and music is subjective anyway,
Yeah.
but they won because somebody wanted them to win or
Correct.
not win.
Sure.
It's all about pushing units, whether those are streams or CDs or vinyls or
Right.
merch or whatever the revenue driver is. And Turnstile has probably had the most momentum. Maybe not as much as Sleep Token,
Sure.
but
I would agree.
and Dream Theater is kind of going back to the Spiritbox Jinjer thing. That's a
Agreed.
musician's
Yep.
band.
Totally. Well, and
Not a whole
that's
lot
the
of
other thing is,
casual Dream Theater listeners.
right. And that's the other thing is too, I don't think a lot of people understand what it all goes into. Like for years, I just thought it was just like, how do they vote on this? How are they all nominated and
Mhm.
stuff? And it's like you have
To the
you
Academy.
have to put your stuff into it, and you have to pay to even be considered, which
Mhm.
is another piece of this. So it's not like, you might be looking at, like, I don't know, I'm just like, say, Killswitch Engage. It's like, well, why
Mhm.
Killswitch Engage's album was freaking awesome. How come they weren't nominated? Well, they probably didn't submit.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
as a lot of other bands, they never submit and stuff. And so there might only be 9 bands that they're trying to, choose from, because those are the only 9 bands that actually
Right.
submitted and stuff. But
Right.
and paid the money, and that's
Mhm.
that's the other thing
But
that's
then you get
weird about
voted
it.
on. You get
Right.
voted on by the Academy. So,
Yep.
Sleep Token didn't have the votes because guess what? They didn't
Right.
campaign hard enough.
Correct.
That's what I
Yep.
mean by it being political. So, and Turnstile, whomever was behind them, they had the better publicist, whatever.
Right.
That's what wins you Grammys.
I
It's
agree.
not album sales, it's not strength of the music,
Yeah.
it's not anything like that. Um, you know, but
Yeah.
even the show itself is a revenue driver,
Yep.
you know. And the more bad political jokes there are, the more buzz there's going to be around it. All of that stuff's
Yeah.
intentional.
Sure. Oh, totally.
Intentional.
Totally.
You
I
know,
will say,
Bad Bunny wins 9 million Grammys. Of course he did. He's
yeah.
playing the Super Bowl next weekend.
Yep.
You know,
This
there's
just
a
this
reason
just
for all of it.
right. This just goes to show you, like, how out of touch I am, outside of anything that's like metal and stuff like that. I legitimately thought Bad Bunny was like a woman. I'm like, that's a guy. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
You know,
I'm just out of touch. But I thought it
first
was. Well, go ahead.
the first album of the year in non-English
Yeah.
in a foreign language.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of cool, I
First
guess.
album ever.
Yep.
Totally cool, and I love it. And
Yep.
I mean, but again, it goes back to he won for a reason.
Oh, of course.
You
Yep.
know, not to disparage the Grammys or the people who participated or
Sure.
anything like that or
No, no,
or
no,
the
no.
outcomes. I
Well,
mean,
that's
it's
what I was saying.
still a vote and still
I had
winning is a
no
big deal.
idea. But I thought it was really cool though that Nine Inch Nails won. Like,
100%.
how awesome is that? That Nine Inch Nails is, God, what have they been around now? 35
89.
years?
Yeah,
Huh?
since 89. Since 89.
Yeah. 37
Mhm.
years. God, good for them, man. And still winning stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's so cool. What did you think about
Yeah.
Youngblood with the Changes song and all that stuff? Like, I've seen that video and stuff, and I thought it's cool what they did and everything, but
I was stoked for Nuno.
yeah, amen, man.
Um, Youngblood, I mean, cool, I guess. I was just really jazzed for Nuno.
Yeah. The whole Youngblood
I
thing
like him a
is,
lot.
I totally get why people are drawn into him and stuff. Totally get it. But it almost feels like it's getting pushed, really hard. It's like
The
you're
Youngblood thing.
going to like him, or just with the
Right.
Ozzy thing and everything. It's
Mhm.
just like you're gonna like him, whether you like it or
Mhm.
not.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I get it. I mean, he's got a lot of appeal. But yeah, it's just
That's a publicist's job right there. You know,
totally. Yep.
and he's got a good one.
Yeah.
He pays for it handsomely.
Yep.
You're for a really top tier publicist, you're going to pay 150, 200,000 a year for it.
Right.
That's the
Oh yeah.
reality. That's how
Yep.
much those guys cost. For like your guy who can make a phone call for
Sure.
anything you want,
Yeah.
you're going to pay. He's got
Yeah.
one,
Totally.
so
I'm just putting on the record right now, and
good for
I
him.
think everybody would agree with me that he's going to be up there whether we like it or not. He's going to be
Mhm.
up there in contention with, Rolling Stones and Ozzy and all these other bands and people and stuff, as being like the notorious Youngblood, the notorious Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, and I'm just like, I don't feel like he's got anything out there yet that's really necessarily paid his dues to get there, but I get it. I mean, it's just he's a
Yeah.
whole package kind of a thing. And so it's just, again, that's what the whole music industry is. And we know this, it's all,
Mhm.
is there something to sell that's outside of the
It's a
music
business.
too?
It's a
It is a
business.
business. And so they're just going to shove everything that they can at you. And if you are the entire total package, you do great PR yourself, you're good looking, you have some sort of magnetism about yourself, you can actually sing or play or whatever, I mean, that's, you're going to be out there, and it's great,
Yeah. Yeah.
but cool,
Yeah.
kudos to everybody that won though. I think
For
it's
sure.
cool,
It is
whatever.
a big deal.
Yep.
And all of those folks will see a massive bump in streams and
Yeah,
sales
totally,
because
totally.
that's also the point here.
Yep.
Um, but yes, definitely congratulations because there is a massive group of people that still had to vote on you.
Yep.
So if you won, you managed to do something right.
Totally.
Um, and it's but I think at the end of the day, it's the nomination part that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, agreed.
Like should Turnstile have been in the metal category? No.
No, no,
You know, um, should Sleep Token have won? Also, no.
no,
Yeah, I wouldn't have voted for him. You
no.
know, um, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was interesting.
yeah. Again, I was very shocked. I would have bet my life savings that Sleep Token was winning that. But then it was also when it went to Turnstile, it was like, not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Dream Theater was going to do it because Dream Theater has a weird way of doing that, like coming from out of
Yeah.
nowhere to win those things,
Yeah,
just because of what they are and who they are.
sure.
Um, but what'd you
Yeah, and
think
I
of?
just
Did
I
you
just think
catch?
that there's just so much that rides on, you know, album sales current and how they're going to continue to try to push album sales for these
Hmm?
bands. And so that's what I'm saying. I think a
Yeah.
lot of the labels have a lot to do with this and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Because again, there are so many other metal bands that put out stuff this year that I'm like, okay, they are definitely metal. These guys know, and how the heck they won
Hmm.
it is beyond me.
Right.
Um, you know, I mean, even the fact that you look at it was cool that Deftones were nominated for I think it was best rock album. Is that right? I'd have to look.
I think
Yeah, best
so.
rock album they were
Yeah.
nominated,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not metal. Which okay, whatever. They're shoegaze. I get it. But it's also like, but you watch. I'm sorry, nothing against Turnstile, but you watch Deftones live, man, and they crush those guys, man. They're so freaking fun. I mean, Chino
Mhm.
himself is just an enigma. He's so much fun to watch, and he's the same Chino that he was 20 years ago. And
I
ugh,
don't disagree with any of that. However, having seen both bands in the recent past, I'm giving that one to Turnstile.
you think so?
Yeah, there's just like, you know, there's so much energy at those shows, and it's so much positive energy. Not
Sure.
that there isn't any at a Deftones show. Not saying that at all. It's just amplified to a degree
Yeah, but
I
how
have
much is it
never
from the
really seen.
band compared to like stage? I don't want to say like what would it be like? Not performance, but what
Like
am I thinking of?
production,
Production. There
like
you go.
production. Yeah. No, it is a combination of all of it. They
Yeah.
they they create a vibe, much like Deftones do.
Yeah.
Um, it's consistent throughout, but with Deftones, it kind of comes and goes. They
Yeah,
pull
that's
you in
true.
and push you
Yeah.
out. With Turnstile, it's the same. And it's wild, dude. Like it's crazy,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
guess I've never seen them live, outside of the videos. I've never been live to see them. But I
Dude,
don't know,
it's one
when
of
I
those.
think of I just think of it like this. And think what everybody's gonna have their own opinion. But I think of like Lamb of God, for example. Okay. When you're voting on best metal performance, it's got to be a metal performance, not like what's the
Sure.
best big performance in that category.
Oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you
You know what
there.
I'm saying? And like
Mhm.
I just look at it like I am not a big Lamb of God fan, and I've put that on record a whole bunch. I'm not a big fan of Randy Blythe or whatever, whatever. But I will say they are probably top five best metal bands live ever. I mean,
Mhm.
they will play any night, anywhere, any country with any band, and they're like
Still blowing up
they
the stage.
outplayed Pantera when I saw them, and that's coming from a guy that doesn't like Lamb of God, and it's like, and I've seen Lamb of God a bunch of times, and it's just like every freaking time you
Hmm.
cannot walk away feeling like those guys are absolute giants. I mean, they just crush it live. And
Yeah.
so that's what I just look at. I'm like, if you have a band that like say for example myself I don't like, and then but I can still walk away saying they are freaking good,
Hmm.
you got to
Hmm.
be able to beat that, what I mean, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, because I'm just like looking at like it shouldn't be necessarily like album sales and who has the most production and who blah 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 or whatever and stuff like that. It's got to be something where you walk away and you are the band that they remember, whether you're the first band playing or the last. That's the band that you remember playing live that night. And,
Yeah.
And
And
I don't know.
that's been their attitude the whole time. Like they're always trying to, whoever they're playing in front of, that's who they're trying to beat.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've said that time and time again, and that's what drives their performance,
Yeah. I believe
that's
it.
why, they're as good as they are, for sure.
I believe it.
But it's just, when it comes down to this, Turnstile Deftones kind of scenario, it's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Yeah.
And because I love both bands, 100%.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's why. Do they even have like? My brain is completely fried here. I'm trying to think. They used to have like what was the satellite radio awards show and stuff for like metal and everything. What was that called? You know what I'm talking about? And they had gosh dang it, dude. I hate
Jose
getting
do
old.
it?
What's that?
Does Jose do it?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. And they featured like Corey Taylor's, gave him like the Lifetime Achievement Award and all this other stuff.
I vaguely remember something.
Yeah,
I
they
know
were doing
that
that.
Revolver used to do a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. Either way, I'm gonna let that one
awards
sail
in
off.
music, like it's a slippery slope, because then you're trying to say that somebody's better than somebody else, or somebody's music is better than somebody else's, and it's like it's a slippery slope.
I get you. Yep.
So,
it is. But oh well. Yeah. Anyways, cool.
Yeah. Did you catch Post and Slash and Duff?
No.
And Chad Smith and some other guy who I can't remember doing War Pigs.
No.
They did a tribute to Ozzy. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It was good. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of Post Malone, his like original stuff, but when he does, like, he can nail Black Sabbath.
That's what I'm saying,
he can nail
dude.
Nirvana. Like, did you ever see his COVID Nirvana stream?
100%. That's when I became an actual decent fan of Post Malone.
Crazy.
Yep.
Good.
That's the thing. What sucks is I agree with you.
The game.
I mean, his bread and butter is his stuff. I mean, whatever you want to call that, the sound wave type music, or
he knows where the money's at.
Right. He knows where the money is, and he makes a ton of money off of it and stuff and I get that, but like, dude, I'm telling you, if he went straight just rock / metal, like, he can do it all, and he's so good at it. And you can tell that's where his passion is, and but he knows what sells. I mean, and he's like leaning into country and stuff like that, which, whatever. I mean, I think everybody is at this point, but
I mean, it's the only genre that makes any money, really.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, that's the truth. I wonder why that is.
I hate to say it, but that's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, it's the demographic. It skews older, and they still buy physical copies.
Yep. You're probably exactly right, actually.
I mean, that's, kind of and things that I've read.
Yeah. And you got to think about like
that
people who are listening to the radio as well. I think you're going to get a lot of people who just listen to country on the radio who don't have Sirius and all that other stuff,
Yep. That and worship music.
Yep, that's true.
Those are the two that make the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We picked the wrong genre, my friend.
That's right.
That's why we're having to work other jobs now.
Oh my gosh. Amen. Yeah. That's something like my dad has said for years. Like, again, not a big fan of country. I respect anybody that is. You can like what you like and stuff. There's a few songs out there that I like. And I mean a few. I can count on one hand. And but anyways, I just like a few times around my dad, I've like, just like a song gets in my head or something like that, and I'll sing it, or I'll make fun of something or whatever, and I'll sing something out and stuff. My dad will be like, "What are you doing? Like, holy crap! Like, why aren't you a country singer?" Because I got this low voice and everything. It's like, dude, I can do it. It's like caramel, And he's like, "Why don't you do that? Like, you'd be freaking huge." I'm like, "No, because I can't. I hate it.
I dare you. I
I
dare you to
no
do a country
way.
song.
Nope.
I'll do
Nope.
the music. I'll even write the lyrics for you. You just have to sing
Yeah.
them.
Okay, so fun story. Here we go. Deep dive into the Jeff Geegan lore way back in the day. So again, I did not listen to anything country at all, and I could give you stories beyond stories that are funny and stuff. Like for example, this
Mm.
girl that I was dating, all she listened to was country back in the day, my senior year, and she kept trying to push it on me to listen to it. And like one time we like got in a fight, and I just like we stopped at a stop sign. I just got out and walked because I'm like I'm not listening to this crap, But whatever. And but
That's
again, at that
amazing.
same point, I think I was a senior in high school and I was in choir and stuff and I did a solo. Like my music teacher wanted me to do this solo and she's like, I want you to sing this song. And she played it on piano and then I just sang it. And dude, I crushed it. It was awesome. And like got this
Nice.
huge applause at the end and everything. It was outstanding. And then when we got done, she was like, I did something that you said you could never get me to do. And I was like, what's that? And she's like, I got you to sing a country song. And I was like, when? She was like, that solo, it's a country song. I was like, no way. And she was like, yeah. She's like, you've never heard of The Dance by Garth Brooks? Garth Brooks, and I was like, no. And she's like, that's a country song. All it said was The Dance on it. And I just sang it and I freaking crushed it. I did a good job, it was awesome. But I had no idea it was a country song. And she was like, ha, ha, and I'm like, gosh, dang it. But either way, I don't know. Fun
Gotcha.
stuff. Got me. Whatever. But I do like that song though, so it's all right, I guess. But
Let's do the cover.
let's do it. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
All
I'll
right.
record it later. I'm just
I'll go
kidding. I'm
get
not
a
going to
new
record it.
hat.
I'm not going to do that song.
I'll get a new hat. I'll get a bunch of face tattoos because that's the other new thing now too.
That is kind of getting a little out of control.
It is, yeah.
It's like I
Speak,
saw Jelly Roll when I was watching the show last night, and I'm like,
yeah,
what is that on his face? Like
yeah,
the big one that's like overarching.
yeah.
And I'm
I
like, is
think
that a
he's trying to get.
flower?
I
Or
think
like,
he's trying to
the
get
hell
him
is that?
lasered off. Is why it
Oh,
also looks kind of bad because he's lost like 250 pounds, 300
he's
pounds,
lost
something
a
like that.
ton of weight.
Good for him, man. And I
Mm,
think that's super cool for him to choose his health like that. I think he's been working with Gary Brecka to lose all that weight, which is really cool.
yeah.
So
He was unhealthily large.
unhealthily large. And I think
Mhm.
and like his wife and everything is just such a sweetheart and stuff. She's got a great podcast, by the way. If you've never listened to her podcast,
What's
she's
her podcast?
fantastic. It's like, I gotta look it up. I can't remember. It's like Chris Eckstein or something like that. I can't remember. I'm gonna get that
Yeah,
all
I mean,
screwed up, but
I'm not a Jelly Roll fan,
me neither. But
country or pre-country.
or
Um,
Bunny, was it Bunny DeFord is her name, but what's the name of that?
hmm,
Um, let's see here. It's really, I've seen a bunch of it, and it's called Dumb Blonde. There you go.
okay.
And you just gotta watch it. I mean, she's really good. She's a good personality. She's just a really nice, sweet person, down to earth and everything, and
Yeah.
clearly loves her husband. And it's like, yeah, good for her. But and
Yeah.
good for him for
Yeah.
losing all
Right
that
on.
weight. It's awesome.
Yeah. And winning Grammys.
And winning Grammys, that's right. So he looks so
And
different though.
I did see that him and Post are going on tour.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like a big deal for Jelly Roll too. Like he like brought it
Mhm.
up like was it? Yeah, he was like, was it the Joe Rogan podcast or something like that? I can't remember what it was, but he was like, he was like crying about it. He was like, I couldn't believe that. Maybe he was on stage or something like that, and he like announced that he was going on tour or something like that, and he was like crying and stuff. And kudos to him, for being an emotional guy like that, But it's a big deal. I mean, he's
It's huge.
obviously come from a rough background and I feel the same way a lot too sometimes that it's just you're not deserving of the good things that happen in your life, and it's tough sometimes to receive stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so good for him, I
Yeah.
think he deserves it.
It's
I think he's a good guy.
yeah, pivotal moment for him for
Yep,
sure.
for sure.
And,
But anyways,
so yeah. So yeah, take away from the Grammys, is Turnstile metal.
turntables.
No, I mean the answer is no.
Yeah, no. We're just gonna
That
we're just
that was
gonna
my
answer that for you.
takeaway
It
from
is
the
no.
Grammys. Like,
It
but
is no. That's funny.
anyways, I mean, metal's been shafted at the Grammys for
Right.
decades,
Correct.
probably since the inception of the
And it
show.
always will be. It's like you get your
100%.
hopes up every
Always will
single
be.
year.
It's not
and
even
then-
televised anymore.
I know.
They do it during the pre-show or earlier in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, well, does anybody even really care?
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think so. Yeah,
It's like they
whatever.
weren't going to let Spiritbox play during the televised portion.
Dude, that would have been
Ah,
sweet though.
it would have been sweet.
Yeah.
It also would have mortified a big chunk of America,
Yeah.
you know,
Probably.
because I mean, that's network television on a
Oh, they
Sunday
would have
night.
shut the TV
You
off
know,
right there.
oh god, yeah. So,
Oh well.
yeah.